Salvete! Greetings, dear Latinists. Thanks for joining me in this sentence challenge for intermediate learners. In this video, I'll present to you a single sentence. Your task is simply to pause, analyze the components of the sentence and come up with your own translation, and to see how easily and quickly you can do that, and then follow me for the answer. So the context for this is the late Republic, coming to the period of civil wars. And on the one side, we've got Julius Caesar, who's shaking everything up, becoming dangerously powerful. And on the other side, we've got Marcus Cato, a staunch Republican who does all he can to obstruct Caesar. So that's a little bit of context. Those are the two characters that feature in this sentence. Let us now have a look at the sentence. As soon as it pauses, guys, as soon as it appears, pause it and see what you can do with it. Okay, good. Hopefully you've had a crack at that. Let us first read together in Latin. So, cum Caesar consul legem republicae perniciosum tullisset, Cato solus caeteris exterritis huic legi obstitit. Right, so not too long, this sentence. Some of them I've given you have been very, very long. So hopefully you've done this without too much difficulty. So we start, as very often we have the case in Latin, with the subordinate clause, with cum, when, in this case, when Caesar as the nominative. Caesar consul. What's a consul? Well, this is a noun in apposition, literally apposition placed next to, and it refers to the same person. They're both in the same case, the nominative. The consul, you may know, is a Roman magistrate, the senior magistrate. There were two consuls chosen each year. So when Caesar as consul, legem republicae perniciosum tullisset, so the accusative is legem, from lex, feminine noun, third declension, meaning a law. Tullisset, that's an irregular, very irregular form of the verb there. It's from the verb ferre, tullilatum. It means to bear, to bring, to carry. And so what it means is when Caesar brought forth, or had brought forth, it's a pluperfect subjunctive, had brought forth or passed his law, that law being perniciosum, that's the adjective, and we can see it agrees in its case and gender with legem, accusative feminine, pernicious or harmful to what? Republicae, dative. When Caesar as consul had brought forth his law, or maybe had passed his law, which was harmful to the Republic, so that's our subordinate clause, our context, when blah blah blah. Then we get the main clause, Cato solus, nominative, Cato, that's his name, solus, adjective, alone, Cato alone, caeteris exterritis, what's this? Did you spot it? Ablative absolute. Yeah, so we've got caeteris, others, nominative, ablative plural, caeteris, exterritis. Okay, so that's a past participle in the from exterreo, exterritis in the ablative. The others having been terrified. Literally, we just say the others terrified. The others having been terrified as a separate aspect in the sentence. That's why it's absolute, cut off. Ablative, absolute. Huic legi obstitit. All right, obstitit is the perfect tense from obsto, obstare. First a conjugation, but irregular. Obstiti, to obstruct, to hinder, to block. Cato alone, whilst the others were all terrified or had been terrified, hindered, blocked, huic legi, this law. And you'll notice it's in the dative case because certain verbs always trigger a dative object. Even though it's a direct object, it goes in the dative. And obsto, obstare always triggers a dative. So Cato alone, perfect tense, hindered, obstructed, thwarted this law. So that's our sentence. Let's look one more time. When Caesar, cum plus subjunctive, when Caesar had brought forth. Now it can mean to pass, but I'm wondering here if Cato obstructed it, maybe he hadn't quite been ratified yet. So I'm going to say when he brought his law, when Caesar had brought his law, Caesar was consul, now in apposition, had brought his law, which was harmful to the Republic. Cato alone, main clause, the others having been terrified, ablative absolute, obstructed, hindered, obsteted plus dative, hui clegi, this law. Okay, so very well done, guys. If you managed to translate that, I hope you did. If there are a couple of bits you weren't sure about, I hope now I've cleared it up for you and maybe you've learned a couple of new items of vocabulary. So ablative absolute, very, very important. They're everywhere, ubique, ubiquitous when you're reading Latin amongst the Latin authors. The ablative absolute has to be understood. And just to make a note of obstare plus dative, to block, to hinder, to obstruct. So, well done. Let's leave it there and keep these intermediate videos short. And I shall see you in the next one. Any questions, please feel free to post in the comments. Thank you, guys. Valete.